Hiya! Tonight I'd like to show you a couple of things that I got from Jackson's Art. They're quite exciting. It's a new medium for me. And yeah, I'm going to get to it. But quickly, I'll just introduce myself to those of you who haven't been here before. I'm Kama. I make mixed media art and I'm known as Weird is the Best on the internets. And I like experimenting and trying different mediums and yeah, just educating myself and trying things out a lot. And I work mainly in sketchbooks of usually this size but also like bigger sizes. And I'll be swatching the new supplies in this today. And yeah, I also make comics and things like that, but that's pretty much all about me. Let's get into the exciting bit. I will remove my personal details and we'll see. Here's what I got. So let's take it all out. I always keep these boxes. They're always very useful to keep stuff in the drawers and things like that. And everything always comes like packed in reused packaging, which is really nice. I don't know which one to start with. I think I'll start with these. Or maybe this one because it's already spoiled. It's a pack of brushes by Royal and Langnickel. Crafter's Choice, Gold and Taclon. They're really cheap. A pack of these was like $3.90, so yeah, super cheap. And I bought them for the new supplies, but also I'm potentially painting my graphic novel using small brushes, so I might use them for that too. Yeah, it's quite cheap and cheerful. I like that. If you can feel less precious about them. And we also have a few new paints. Rose. So these are Acrylic Gouache, or rather Acryla Gouache by Holbein. And they've been quite popular recently. And I've been wanting to try them for like a year or something. And I got a few colors. This is my current set. So I've got violet, blue violet, orange yellow, leaf green, misty blue, pale peach, neutral grey number 1, pale lilac, and deep violet. And I also have this Turner Acrylic Gouache in pink, which is a fluorescent one. And I didn't quite like gel with this color, this paint, which could be like just that one pigment that doesn't work for me, but yeah, that's the brand I stuck with, Holbein. So we have Rose. This is the most exciting color I got. We also have light yellow, and that's it, and light blue. I just realized they are almost like primary colors-ish. But yeah, I started making art with these finally because they kind of overwhelm me. It's a new medium. I haven't really painted much with gouache before. I painted some, but not a lot. And this is a bit new to me, so I was kind of a bit scared of wasting them. And then I finally got into painting with them. It's actually like this month's Patreon reward. So I used them to paint this page, and I really liked how that felt, so I got some more. Now that I know I will be using them. We have a couple more here. Carmine, kind of similar to the rose one, and crimson. So I'm really into like reds right now, if you couldn't tell yet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to swatching them, but first I'll show you the rest of the supplies. These boxes are also very useful, like for organizing things in drawers, so I like reusing them. I won't spoil it, I'll do this off camera, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, let's start with the boring one. I got some empty, I think it's quarter pans or half pans. Is this half pan? I think it's a half a pan. I completely forgot. Half pans. It's just a set of 6 so that I can pour my pens in this and maybe premix some colors. Not these, because these will dry and then you can't reactivate them, so it would be like absolute waste. But for like watercolors and gouache, this will work nicely. I want to organize a like watercolor gouache palette so I can use them. I also got some watercolors. I got this Aureolin by Rosa Gallery. This color is called 751. And I also got titanium white 704. Don't know if it gives the PW6, which is like the common pigment for white, and this one is PY 150 for the yellow or Aureolin. And then we have chromium oxide 743. Pigment is PG 17. I need to double check what these stars mean. They all have 3 stars. I also got inspired by Katie Moody and got a couple refills for my what's it called? Gansai Tambi palette. So I've got the like a quite a big palette of these. So I got white. Quite an obvious choice, but I didn't think about this before. Number 10, Shiro, which means white. Huh, I could read something in Japanese. And then this lovely blue, which is called Hyakagan. I can't translate that, but it's a lovely light blue shade. And I reckon I can find it on my... So on my receipt it says it's ultramarine pale. So these are the 2 colors that Katie Moody got, and I also use these colors. Like I use white a lot, and I use like light blue for skies a lot, because I also paint landscapes, so that's great. And I got a Liquitex. So I have a pink one, and I have a yellow one somewhere, and I absolutely love it. It's a bit of a hard one to use because it's got this slanted edge. So you can't be very precise with it, but I've been using it a lot recently. And instead of buying a replacement for when this runs out, which will be quite soon probably, I decided to get something more for like landscapes. So I got this Liquitex acrylic marker in Hooker's Green Hue Permanent. And it's got a few pigments, PY 65, PG 7 and PBK 7. So it's got yellow, green and black in this. It's got excellent light fastness, which is amazing, and it's opaque. Permanent. That is a very good sign. I didn't realize that they were light fast. So I'm going to make some space and then we can start swatching. I won't be testing these because they're just, just brushes. There's not much to show. I think I'll start with the sketchbook. This is a Royal Talents art creation with the slightly yellow stock. I went to a workshop for drawing ice. And the sticker is by Little Tiny Egg, whom I link to. I love the sticker. So what should we start with? I think we'll start with watercolors and then we'll move on to this, because this one's quite tricky to wash, and yeah, I'll just keep that for later. Let's make it look nice, because why not? So I usually save these stickers and like keep them on my paint, especially the color, the main color. But actually they're perforated, so maybe I can just pull it off like this. Almost. It's a lot less satisfying than I thought it would be. But at least at least it's there, which is nice. And then give me a shout in the comments whether you're new here or whether you've been following along for a bit. I love to get to know you all. And yeah, let me know what you like to make, what kind of art, if any, or if you're just watching for the sake of, like, I don't know how to say it. If you're just watching, or if you like paint with me, or if you do make art, or if you don't make art, if you appreciate art. Anyway, we got this, and let's get this out. I'll have to put some labels on these because, oh, this one has white. Okay, that's good. Hopefully this one will also have an English name, but it doesn't. I'll just have to like stick something on it. So just to show you what I'm talking about, I built this single paint a while ago, and so it's also by Gansei Tambi. I think it's just called Red, and I liked it so much because it's very vibrant that I got the whole, well, I asked for a whole set for Christmas, and it's the Art Nouveau set, and I don't really feel often inspired to use it. I used it a couple times, like you can watch me paint along, you can watch me a paint with me video on this channel, but I don't really use it that much. I think it's because the colors are just like very muted. So I'm looking forward to doing exactly what Katie Moody did and start replacing these colors with the ones I'll be using more. And I'll keep the rest, but as a backup. So that's what this is, what these are for. I have some water, which I used earlier a little bit, so it's not the cleanest, but I reckon it will do. It will get muddy in a second anyway. And I'll prepare this one as well. Can't wait to use this. Talk amongst yourselves. This isn't as easy as it should be. Oops. Is it just me, or should it just open like effortlessly? There it is. Okay, I'll label them in a minute, and then at the end I'll show you like all of them. These are my Acryla Gouache brushes, and I don't really want to mix them. If you know a lot about brushes, let me know if that matters, like whether you mix the mediums or not, especially like the more water-soluble, water-reactivated ones and not, if that makes sense. So what I'm doing now is I'm just activating pigment within the paint. I guess I can swatch this one for you, even though it's not new, since it's here already. I can't deal with this water. Okay, I replace the water. So it's nice and clean. Let's start with white, and then I'll maybe use white in combination with the other colors. Mainly because this is off-white stock, so you can actually see it here. And what's my... I love having a kitchen towel around when I'm painting. Okay. Oh, I made a mess. I don't know why, but this week I'm struggling to record. It just happens sometimes, you know. Oh, I mixed them up. I'm going to go this way and then this way with them, just so each brand is kind of next to its like this, the same brand. Oh, this is much more yellowy, I don't know what to call it, vibrant than I was hoping for. And what you can hear in the background is my cat scratching the post because he wants to go out. I better let him out. Okay, the cat is out. So we can focus on this. So I just labeled everything as I was off camera. Again, probably not much to see, but I can kind of tell that there is white paint on it. And let's do the last one. This is like my favorite red, probably. There's one thing about Kansai Tambi paints, they look huge, but they're actually full pans, probably. Maybe slightly bigger. They look massive, but they don't go very deep in the pans, so it's kind of deceptive, but they do last quite a long time, so just thought I'll mention it. And let's test the acrylic marker. So it's one of those pump mechanisms where you have to activate, like let the paint flow. 2 hours later. There we go. That is exactly the color I was looking for, and it's very similar to this, which is nice. Yeah, I really like this. It's a really good color. That's Liquitex. And I think as this dries, I'm going to swatch the same materials in my Odd Orange sketchbook. And then once that dries, we'll swatch the gouache, acrylic gouache. Okay, and just move all the boxes out of the way. Let's get to it. Getting spoilers. What I also got today was a few second-hand books for like studying art, but I think I'll share them with my patrons. Speaking of which, my new Patreon video, it's a short one, but it talks about, it's like a secret sketchbook tour that I don't share with anyone else, and that's out very soon. I think by the time I'm publishing this video, it will have already been out. So if you're interested in my sketchbooks and want more, you can sign up to my Patreon. Or you can watch them, quite a lot of them, on my YouTube for free. I have shared quite a lot so far. This paint is a bit of a weird consistency, but I reckon it's because this paper is alright for watercolors, but it's very smooth, so it's more of a mixed media stock than watercolor. You can still achieve like some nice results with it. It's just not, it's just smooth, so that's what it looks like. Yeah, I feel like I already have this color in a different, in Roman Schmal, which I wasn't expecting to be this similar. Let's try it out. And in the meantime, I'm going to mix it. And I think I'll just mix it on paper, because I don't want to muddy the paint itself. I was thinking of mixing them. That's kind of really cool. Quite like the resulting color, so maybe this is okay. Let's try this Roman Schmal one. Unfortunately, it's pretty much the same color. Oh well, that happens sometimes, especially with buying online. I'm also going to see what happens when I mix the white. Oops, too much water. It's a good white. I like a white that makes it, oh, I guess PW6, isn't it? It makes everything very pastel. Cool. So these were Rosa Gallery. And the Roman Schmal one is unknown. I didn't put it down. I didn't put the name down for some reason. But it's probably my sign from the universe that I need to use it. Use this color. Okay, let's start with white again, although again, there's not much to see. And the new blue. Oh, that's nice. So they mixed by mistake. And my favorite red. So that's that. I had the craziest idea. Well, maybe not the craziest, but I had an idea. That's interesting. It's kind of a cool color. Just did the same thing, didn't I? But I was planning to add white to it, and I've changed my mind. That's alright. I already muddied the white. Let's take it off. Okay, and the Liquitex marker. I like this effect. Yeah, very good. Just for comparison, these same colors in two different sketchbooks. You can kind of see the difference straight away, especially on the blue. The blue is very vibrant here, and on the Royal Talents it's not as vibrant, I guess. Yeah, there they are. This one is still drying, so I'm going to take a pause and then come back to it once it's dry. I ran out of patience because this just is not drying fast enough. So we'll use this sketchbook. Through the power of editing, my water magically changed to clean. I'm going to move the watercolors away. You don't need them. Clean up the mess. And what I'm going to be using as a palette for my paints is this Stay Wet palette. And I honestly can't remember the brand, but there's tons of them online. And I've been using it a bit. It's not the best. I think this is probably done. I don't really want to start a new one tonight. It takes a bit of setup. So I'm just going to use that. I'll just use a corner and then I can check it. Do you use Stay Wet palettes, and if so, what do you do with them afterwards? Do you keep them? Do you use them as like scrap paper? Like not sketchbooking, what's it called? Collage or something? It's a Stay Wet palette, so it's not, it's quite crinkly. It's like this weird thing. Crimson, and then we have carmine. I've seen people like, I think it was more to do with acrylic or maybe oil paints, where they would have a palette and they would just keep using it forever and just add paint on top of paint. But I guess Stay Wet palette, you can't really do that. It's a bit easy to get it moldy. Maybe I could try that, but I quite like the idea of adding the paints and then being able to use them like the next day, or even if you, granted this is already dry, but that's like a week old. I came back to it a few days after starting it and it was still good, so it lasts quite a while. Okay, I think we're good now to start. I'm going to create a piece. Not a piece, but like something. I'll start with carmine. I think I'll swatch and then I'll do my thing. It's like straight out of the tube with a tiny bit of water. And then I'm going to do what I was kind of doing with my other paints as I was testing them out. I was sort of like blending them together. It's a lovely shade, and it's the crimson one. Don't know what to do with the rest of the paint. I'll start a new one. This one will be very watery. Brush rest. I made this one myself. It's not great, but it does the job. Probably should use up the paint. Okay, now we're moving. I think I'll mark it. This crimson. Now we're going into the realms of carmine. This was more satisfying than it should have been. There is something about using almost dried up paint that I love, like the texture. Oh, this is much more wet, sadly. I'll try remove some water. This one's more straight out of the tube, and this one's more watered down. Oops. I usually have like a sketchbook on the side where I'm just like, oops, dumping this paint, the leftover paint, but my desk is too messy today to do that. And I think it's been a long week, so my brain power is much lower than usual. Hope you can't tell. I'm not sure how I'm going to mix pink and blue, but we'll see. Or is it? Oh no, pink and yellow. Oh, that'll be interesting. I obviously left it too long, so it's hard to blend them. That's not how I normally paint. And with these, so the difference between acrylic gouache and acrylic paint is that, well, there's not too much of a difference between acrylic and acrylic gouache, but I think this one dries matte and acrylic paint dries more shiny. But they can't be, once they get dry, like completely dry, you can't reactivate them with water. But you need to be careful because you need to let it dry completely, otherwise it will still pick up a bit of water. That's something to bear in mind, like it's almost there, but it's not fully there. Whereas acrylic gouache is much harder to reactivate once it's on the page. Although I had some situations where, like, especially Posca markers, Posca pens would reactivate, even though they were kind of dry. But they're water-based, so maybe it's different. So this was Carmine. Carmine or Carmine? And this one's Rose. And I'm running out of space. It's much closer to Crimson than to Carmine. I should have arranged them differently, maybe. It's fine. It's much harder to work. It's almost like it doesn't want to move. Strange. I realized that I haven't told you anything about the pigments in them or like their light fastness, so I'll get to that in a minute. Now I need to go through this. A bit of water. Too much. I think I need to try painting this way, something, create more texture. It's quite fun. Okay, we're ready for a light yellow. Probably too much of it. Yeah, it dried. I reckon I'll get the proper blending when I paint with them. But I don't know if me painting with them right now, like a proper piece, would be very productive and interesting because I'm still getting used to the medium. So it might turn out a bit boring or it might fall flat, so I'll do it at some point. But for now, we have this bad blending. It's fine, I guess. And a bit of space for the blue. Yeah. I don't want to. I'm just making things worse. I'll stop. Actually, I just realized I can just carry on now with the blue. Yeah, I love this color so much. I wish there was more space for it. It's really lovely. And it works on the page much better. Yeah, too late for blending. I think it might be, yellow might be a staining color or something, because it's quite weird. Not in a bad way, it's just... yeah. Anyway, let's get to yellow. It's quite the sort of box standard yellow, I feel like. Like the kind of yellow you'd get in like a primary school set or something. Like kids paints, I meant. That was weird. So that's the yellow. My writing isn't best because I have to hold my hand up. Can you still see me? You can't. Okay. And last but definitely not least, let's finish the blue. Oh, that's very nice. It comes on the page really flatly, if that makes sense. I love that. I'm going to finish it here. And I can't wait to use this in some landscape work. Very nice. And the color is light blue. Okay, I'm going to also swatch them in this sketchbook, and the pages are finally dry. Kansai Tambi leaves like a weird outline where the water dried the slowest. Wonder if it's due to this paper. No, I think it always did that actually. These also have a lot of shine to them. So yeah, I still love them. Let's move this out the way. Okay. I think I'll try and paint like a line and blend them as I go. Let's make it a thick one and one with less water. I regret this already. It's just not something that works this fast. Like you can't do this fast very well, but I'm going to try. I forgot to put the pink at the top again. These two are very similar on this stock. And we have the rose to watering. Yeah, I guess rose, maybe the pigments in like the rose colored ones are not the easiest to make behave nicely on the paper. It's also the least, usually the least light fast color. please don't judge my blending skills, for I have none. I think that's sort of blended, but this yellow really doesn't want to blend. Or maybe this pink doesn't want to blend. Let's keep going with the yellow. Too much. And blue. I think I'm more likely to just mix them on the palette than use them in this way. So it's probably not the best test. Okay, I think I just learned my lesson because I ran out of space on my phone, so I'm going to wrap up here. Hope you enjoyed this swatching video and unboxing. Let me know your favorite colors or your overall favorite materials. I think that's it. Where's my other sketchbook? Here's the other sketchbook, and I completely forgot. I promised to tell you all the pigment, light fastness and so on. Well, pigment I can also tell you. So starting with Crimson D001, it's got PR 122 and 184, and it's got permanency rating of like half, 2 out of 4. Carmine D002, Carmine. The pigment name is PR170, and it's got 2 out of 4 stars again. Then we have Rose D006, Rosa, and permanency rating is 0 out of 4, like I kind of guessed. Pigments are BR1, BV7, 11, 15, and SY44. Not heard of SY before. Something yellow, maybe. Anyway, not the best if you want your artwork to last, but I don't mind that. Then we have D032, light yellow, Deut. Yeah, can't read that. Tried. It's got 2 out of 4 stars, and the pigments are PY80, PY3, 83, and PW6. That would explain why this paint behaves so unexpectedly, because it's got the PW6, so it's got the white pigment, which doesn't mix with other colors as nicely. You kind of have to mix it in quite a lot, so that's why. And did I read out? Light yellow D03, just in case I forgot. And then we have light blue D100. Buri, Raito, Buri. And this one has 3 out of 4 stars, which is better than the other ones. And pigments are PB29 and PW6, sorry. So it's again this white pigment. I won't read those out because it might get a bit long and boring. But if you do want any information about these, do let me know in the comments and I can pop that in. So I think that will be it. I'm quite happy to have added these to my collection. Can't wait to make some more artwork with them. and I'm going to record a video. So I also got a bunch of books, secondhand books, which I'm going to record for Patreon. So do check that out if you're interested. I'll link that below. And I think that's it. You can find me on Patreon and Etsy as Weird is the Best, in case you're interested in that. And until next time, have a lovely day artsing. Bye!